Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today is January 29th, 2019. And as always, the news is brought to you by camerastore.com. And I don't know how to do this. Like, I do these news and I love doing them. This all started from an urge of my own need to tell stories that I thought were unheard in the film industry. And that has taken me to so many places. I met so many people. And the news today kind of have a sad part to them. I know everyone's hyped about different news, which I will cover, but I got a call today knowing that Tetenal is basically no longer the Tetenal we know. And by that, what I mean is they laid off the people that work there, most of them. The person I met at Photokina, Petra Roll, has been laid off after 26 or 27 years of working there. The scientists that know how to make C41, E6 and such have been also laid off. And so yeah, the Save Tetenal hashtag, the people behind it, the people that truly loved the industry and wanted to keep making, have been mostly laid off. What does this mean? It's a hard time, honestly. I do know that they're still producing. They've kept some of the workers that basically, I guess, know how to turn the machines on and press the buttons. Orders are coming in, things are going on. So it's not a lack of orders. It's not a lack of people using the products. There's not a lack of the market wanting new products and, growing demand. It's probably a lack of investment, probably a lack of those people that only see pie charts and percentages. And this is all mostly my gut feeling. The only thing that I have confirmed is that those people have been laid off. The only thing that I know for sure is that they're still producing. How long will they be producing is not known. Also, you guys know that I came out with the first news that Tetenal had basically declared insolvency, and that kind of got, viral, and a lot of people supported and support Tetenal. But the other thing is Tetenal does not only produce for themselves. They produce for a number of top brands, and I still can't exactly tell you for sure, but I know that probably Ilford, probably Kodak in Europe, I don't know if Adox and others are involved. I am going to do an in-depth story about this whole event and what's happened, but I mostly feel sorry for the people who are losing their jobs. They're being working all their life there. And that a major player like that was well loved and was loving the industry and supporting us film users might be gone very soon. So yeah, that's how I would start the news. Didn't really want to start like that. I'd rather give the good news, but I still, feel pretty bad considering that I met them personally. And I'll leave the interview to Petra on the details because there's no actual article yet of what's happened. But I'll leave the interview. She was super positive. This was at Photokina. There was no clue what was happening at the moment. But let's just stay on that note and see where we go from there on. I know a lot of people say that, whatever, Tetenal is gone. There are other players. You might want to double check how many other players are there. And we'll see what happens. But now we'll go with the good news. Okay? So Kodak has basically said on the Sunny 16 podcast that Andy Church from Kodak Ektachrome, which I also interviewed at Photokina, also very, very nice gentleman, said at the Sunny 16 podcast, which is the place where it was said the first time, that Ektachrome in 120 and 4x5 or sheet sizes is coming. He says 3 months, 4 months. The substrate of the large format and 120 is different to 35. It's not the same base for the film, so they have to change the formulation a tiny bit. But yeah, that's the good news. E6 slide film in 120 and large format is coming. I do know that Keith Canham, that usually does the special orders for large format, is full on to that boat. He's been asking and talking to them. So as soon as there's details, I will probably forward you to Keith, who's an amazing person. Also met him at Photokina 2 years ago. And yeah, that's the good news. So thank you, Sunny 16 podcast, for doing this, and the Church from Kodak Ektachrome for announcing it. They also talked about the Kodak T-Max P3200 might be coming or will be coming in 120. Right now, I listened to it a few days ago. I don't remember exactly if they said yes, but I think it was going to be a yes. So we'll have Ilford with their 3200 and Kodak with their 3200. And yeah, that's good news for the market. We'll see how many people are there to develop E6 if things go south with, you know, the do-it-yourself sort of thing. So in other news, we have Reflex, who came out with an update. Remember Reflex, the new Reflex or SLR camera being made out of a Kickstarter, had a bump on the road with the shutter, and they published an update on their Kickstarter announcing that they're already working on a prototype, that they're opening for investors to be able to invest on their project. They're going to scale up as a way to mass produce more, maybe be able to do all of this in, you know, with bigger production and investors. A lot of people are concerned that they invested in making the primes, but they found someone that could make them, those lenses. So they offered the people that don't think that camera's coming down the way, because they don't see a camera at the end of the path, they can also change their tire to the lens. I saw the 40 millimeters at Photokina also at the interview, and I have to say it's a pretty cool lens. I think it's a 40 2.8, if I'm not wrong, sort of pancakey style. And yeah, I tried it in Canon EF mount, but there was no film cameras that we could develop at the moment. So yeah, I think it's good news, and Reflex is being open with what's happening, and you guys can read all about it on their basically Kickstarter announcement. Also, I got contacted by Intrepid, and I usually don't do this, but considering that not a lot of people contact me, they were saying that they've been keeping up with their blog on their website. So I will say that they have been interviewing people, making film of the month and showing pictures. They're going to come out with a zine and such. So Intrepid, apart from making cameras and being very popular cameras and being a great team, which I know personally, they have also started this blog which has more life. They actually just interviewed Matt Mirage from the film photography podcast, FPP, who's an awesome guy, and I love his work. He has some of his barber series and such. So yeah, if you want to go check it out, Intrepid has a blog which you can, you know, favorite on your tab and keep every now and then see whether it's up. It's very nice to see a company doing a blog or something to keep, you know, the information flowing and interviews going on apart from the normal media that doesn't really give a lot of spotlight except for like the Ektachrome news. Also, I got news from a viewer that sent me the information about the dry plate film holders, and I've featured them in a few news back, but I think it's Pictographica or something like that is making dry plates out of glass. He does the emulsion, sells them, and they're actually super cool. It's kind of like the wet plate collodion sort of thing, but you can take it out and it doesn't have to be wet or humid. It's dry. So you can load it and develop it, and it's glass plates. So the problem that I've been hearing is that film holders for glass plates are usually over a century old and are usually not too, you know, reliable, light leaks and whatnot. Maybe the sizes are not as standard and whatnot. So they're making a new Kickstarter very soon for the dry plate film holder with Steve from the Chroma camera. So it's sort of an ABS plastic, something like that, film holder, which is really cool. And I actually can't wait to try it out because I've never shot plates in any regard. I've only done wet plate, but as, you know, a workshop. So dry plates look really interesting. And yeah, there's going to be a Kickstarter very soon. I'm leaving the link for the Photrio, I don't know how to say that, APUG forum where he announces the Kickstarter that's coming and whatnot, shows some pictures and all of that. Also, we have news from Mint, who has sent the first and second pre-ordered RF70 cameras, and they're going to scale up production because right now it's being made one by a man that basically knows how to make them, and they're going to start a small little factory and do incremental, you know, how do you say, advancing or incremental working on the camera. I can't say it right now. To basically make it a bit more automatic, so they are easier to make, probably, you know, more efficient, less maybe hand problems, you know, because quality control when you're doing it by hand sometimes is not perfect. So that is there. There's also a little history of the company as the whole 10-year challenge. Gary puts like what he's accomplished in 10 years, and it's pretty amazing. I highly recommend you check it out for Mint cameras. Then we have Keigo Moriyama, who has made Instax square adapter to work on the wide camera. So basically, if you have an Instax wide camera like the RF70 or Instax 200 or the Instax 300, and you want to shoot square, he's made a 3D printed model. And he sent me an email, so thank you, Keigo. I have watched your channel a few times. I'll leave his channel and his device. I'm not sure if he's selling it or it's on Thingiverse that you can download it and do it yourself. But if it is, it's probably not super expensive. And it's pretty cool that you can shoot squares on an Instax wide. You can actually shoot squares and mini because they're basically the same template of size. They're the same height, it just changed the width. So that's very cool, and thank you, Keigo. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, for sending me that information. Then we have Adox with an update on their Poliwarm tone project. And it's this paper that used to be made, if I'm not wrong, by ACFA. And they've been working for years. They have a website that has the same information for the last 5 years. And they were mixing the chemistry to try it out, and they've actually been successful. So it will be coming out very soon. There's a video on YouTube that I haven't had the time to watch, but I'm pretty sure that's what they say. But Marwin from Photoclassic confirmed that the Poliwarm tone was coming. So Adox is still working on that. And that's one of the things that Marwin was talking to me about. The Tetenal situation is we should all invest our energy and our time and our money onto small companies that are really pushing film forward, and Adox is one of those. Adox, if you don't know, is basically the brand that is behind Photo Impact's store. And Mirko, I interviewed him at Photokina 2, is an amazing man, multi-talent. He does everything, runs this small company that's really investing. So yeah, Adox is, to me, one of the biggest features. And I'm going to be shifting all the products I can towards them. If, you guys want to know. And then the last thing I want to say is I have a Patreon that I've had for a while, and I've been doing tires that I've been trying to give people things, the zines and the cameras and such, and doing giveaways is actually not allowed on Patreon, so they're not giveaways, they're just random things I give. And basically, I decided the other day that this YouTube channel is awesome. I love it. I love people leaving comments and the feedback. But it feels like very much a one-way stream. Same thing happens with Instagram, same thing happens with Facebook. So for those on Patreon, I opened a WhatsApp group, and if you're on Patreon and you haven't seen that update, or if you want to be on Patreon and you want to be on the WhatsApp group, you're more than welcome. Just send me your number. Remember that it's a group, so other users will see your name and will see your messages. But it's super fun because I can share with you guys a lot more behind the scenes, news before the news, videos that I'm making that maybe have a little snippet to share. There's actually one that I did last week that I'm shared. The Tetenal news I already shared with them a few hours ago. So yeah, basically if you want, you can go on Patreon, check one of the tires that you liked best, and give me your number and I'll put you on the WhatsApp group. It's much easier to keep content and talking to people through there than also through here, which is once a week. Maybe there's something important I want to say, things I can't share on social media because, there's certain censorship with certain pictures and content. So yeah, guys, that's basically it for the news this week. As always, remember that you can send me an email to the email below. I'm really sorry about the bad news in the beginning. It is kind of emotional for me to talk about Tetenal, what happened, considering I know Petra and I know how hard they've been working. But yeah, I'll keep you updated, and there will be a special on what's happened, what will happen, and all of that, with interviews, Skype calls, and such very soon. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.